This is the Iowa Weather Report for Monday, January 13th, 2014. And now our first look at the 0Z GFS model run. This is at noon today. We have a short wave moving through the middle part of the country. Some energy along it down across Oklahoma and Texas, but the flow is going to be turning northwesterly, and that means colder air is going to be moving in. We have a disturbance that's going to be coming into the United States, into the Dakotas and Montana, as the frontal system will be off to our east, producing a little bit of snow and rain there. Highs today in the 20s and lower 30s, but by tonight and into Tuesday, that disturbance over Canada and into the northern part of the country will be moving into the Great Lakes. And that could squeeze out a few snow showers or flurries, maybe an inch and a half, heaviest totals in the north and eastern counties. And then that moves to the east on Wednesday, but the cold air remains, highs likely in the teens, mainly in the east to near 30 out west. But you can see another system to our north and northwest, and that's going to drop in here on Thursday with a little bit of snow or flurry activity as well. This will also reinforce the cold air around. Could be quite breezy. Could see some blowing snow with highs in the around teens to lower to mid-20s. And then Friday, that's off to the east, and the flow is still pretty much out of the north and west, although the winds will be switching around to about the west to southwest, but that's not going to really warm up the temperatures a whole lot, mainly in the 20s, maybe a few teens in the east. Another disturbance comes through Friday night into early on Saturday. By midday Saturday, it's off to our east. That'll keep the cold air around with highs in the upper teens northeast to near or lower 30s out in the south and west. That looks to be the same even here on Sunday, with highs from around 20 east to maybe the freezing mark out west as the ridge over the western half of the country tries to nose its way in toward us. And you can kind of see that a week from today. The flow is still out of the north and west. We still have a somewhat of a ridge over the west, a trough over the east, although the trough isn't as deep and as earlier in the week. And it's aimed mainly at the northeast, and another system will be aiming itself at the northeast again by early next week with a little bit of snow activity there. While around here we could see partly to mostly sunny skies and temperatures near seasonal levels. Going into the extended period, though, you can see the ridge in the west and the trough in the east, and the trough's a lot deeper here. And we've seen this on this run, or this model, we've seen it on other models, that toward the end of the month, or around the 23rd, 24th, 25th, we'd see another blast from the north. And you can see if this is to be right, another system is going to be coming in from the north and west that could produce some light snow across the area, and that could bring a few inches. And then at the end of the forecast on the 28th, we don't have a trough and we don't have a ridge. Now we have pretty much a slight of zonal flow, a little bit of a short wave moving through the plain states, mainly at the southern plains, and that could bring some interesting weather if this is to be right. Could see some rain, some snow across the plains, and that could move in our direction, and that could be our next big chance of seeing maybe some significant snows. Satellite image from last evening, we had a frontal system. This is the first one. This was moving through the state, producing a little bit of rain, snow, mixed around. A little bit of cloud activity with some rain over in the south, and another storm system off to our north and west. The Watch 20 map from last evening, some wintry and windy weather issues over the Black Hills, North Dakota, Montana, Wyoming, into the Colorado Rockies. Some wind over with the Santa Anas in Southern California, and the rest of the nation fairly quiet. QPF chart precipitation over the next 5 days through Friday evening at 6 o'clock, showing most of the precipitation this week will be across the Gulf Coast, up the East Coast, and mainly around the Great Lakes, while around here we'll get maybe a couple hundredths, with most of that in the form of some light snow.